Yeah, so you mentioned your affinity with the Angels growing up in Anaheim, and we just saw the conclusion of the World Baseball Classic last week, which is we've been covering that here on Newt News recently, and it was just so exciting to see who I think are the two best players in the game face off for the final at bat with Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. So could you maybe like what were your thoughts on the conclusion of the World Baseball Classic and just the excitement in general? Like it's been really great for the game.
I mean, the ending itself, it's the one that I feel like people talked about in the beginning of there's a chance that Shohei Ohtani could pitch to Mike Trout in the bottom of the ninth inning with or bottom or top of the ninth inning with Japan leading and a chance to clinch it and Mike Trout standing in the way of of that. So I mean, it's cool to see. I mean, it's funny because like even looking back at like the World Cup, right, where everybody's talked about how great of a finish that was, and it was. I mean, Messi winning the World Cup, and as much as it hurt me, I mean, especially with seeing Mexico not even get past the group stage, um, like that World Cup finish. I mean, right, was amazing, but people had remember talking about where it's like, oh man, there's a chance that it's a Ronaldo versus Messi World Cup final, which is the dream scenario. But like this was the dream scenario where it's like Team Japan, their superstar unicorn player who has really, I mean, become the best player in the world, not just in MLB, but just in the world, facing off against the player who everybody had said for the last decade is the best player in the world and who happened to be teammates. I mean, and that at bat, I mean, full count, Shohei Ohtani threw, I mean, probably one of the best sliders of his career. Hit triple digits against Mike Trout, swung and missed 3 times, which I mean has only happened. I saw this stat on Twitter where it's only happened, I mean, like 26 times in his career where he swung and missed on 3 pitches in an at bat. So I mean, it's a great finish to what was a great tournament. I think it was amazing for the sport, right? I mean, I know people did not value it as much and saw it as just meaningless exhibition games in spring and in March. And when Edwin Diaz got hurt and Freddie Freeman got hurt, it drew a lot of criticism from people who just I'd classify as people who don't like to have fun. Um, but I mean, you saw what this meant to players. You saw what this meant to uh, countries. I mean, especially like I've seen in Mexico, like, and it's like I've seen on TikToks or I've heard from family that lives there. Like, I mean, you see kids getting excited about baseball and getting excited about Randy Arozarena and all these guys who kind of broke through from Mexico. I mean, even I have a cousin who doesn't mean he'll follow a little bit of Angels baseball just because, I mean, yeah, that's something on my family that lives in the US like that. There's a lot of Angels fans, right? So he'll kind of keep up to keep those conversations going. But I mean, he mainly just follows soccer. I mean, club soccer, national soccer, whatever it is. And I remember telling him at the beginning of the tournament, like, hey, dude, Mexico's playing Colombia today, World Baseball Classic. And he didn't know and he didn't watch. Told him, like, hey, dude, they're playing the US tomorrow. It's going to be a big game. I mean, the US is like this powerhouse team. Obviously, when it comes to soccer, like that's the huge rivalry. I mean, US versus Mexico. He didn't watch, but he saw the score and he's like, oh, he's like, dude, I can't believe they won. And then he literally watched every Mexico game from that and was texting me throughout the tournament, probably watching more closely than I did, just because like runs like that, Mexico getting to the semifinals was, kind of sparked this baseball fandom in a country that's already has baseball fandom, but I mean, it kind of heightened it. And we're seeing that, right? We saw kids. I remember there was something on Instagram about like some kids in elementary school and I think in London, right? They're replicating the Harry Ford home run celebration for Great Britain. So I mean, it's cool to see. I think it's great for the sport. And that finish is just the icing on the cake or the cherry on top to all of it.